Good morning, everyone. Good morning, guys. I hope you're tuning into our live. It's Saturday, I know. For some of us, a little bit harder, but let's welcome to my guest. I have Mike Woeckener. Woeckener?
Yes.
That was good. Okay. I have him with me. It's still his Friday. That means
Yes, it
we
is.
just laugh at that. Welcome back, and he's in the future. That means that we can still travel in a
Yes.
time. And yeah, I invited him because we had already a few chats. Hi, Dave. Good morning. We had already a few chats with Mike, and he was in my interview in my podcast, and we had really good talk about beliefs and paradigms. And I think he's the right person to open this conversation again, because I think that's a really great topic. I know we talk about beliefs, but Mike will give us a little bit different overview, probably different exercise or something that you can probably go even deeper. And I believe it will be nice. Welcome to my live, and welcome to
Thank
our
you.
show. Thank
It's
you for
nice
coming.
being here, and I didn't even have to make the trip to Australia to do this. I love it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and we can chat again. That's really nice. And yeah, I will probably just give you a space if you can start to talk about probably beliefs and
Sure.
what is your discovery around that. Hey, Ma, good morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Just open it up with limiting beliefs, and everybody has them. Nobody's exempt. And I'm going to introduce you to a little exercise that's going to kind of show you how your paradigm is working in your life, but that's going to come at the end. So I'm going to tell you a real quick story before we get started, and I'm going to ask you to, if you don't already have pen and paper, grab it because you're going to need it. We're going to do some drawing, and we're going to do a little illustration here too. Ah, good lady.
I have one.
Just how did I come here? About a little over 2.5 years ago, I had a life-changing event, and that caused me to look inside at myself. And I'd done a lot of personal development over my life, kind of here and there, sometimes yes, sometimes no, kind of going with the flow. And I found out that that did not serve me very well. And so I started changing some of my habits. I turned off sports radio. I know you guys are big into rugby over there in Australia. We like American football over here. And I just turned off the sports radio, and I started listening to good recordings. And I started looking for opportunities to learn more about myself. And I ended up getting involved in a coaching program that was 13 months long. And what that ingrained in me going through that coaching program was the habit of daily personal development study. And so that consistency is served me much better. In fact, I've had people that I haven't seen in a while. Who are you? Because I have changed quite a bit since the guy that went through that life-changing event
Yeah.
2.5 years ago. So limiting beliefs essentially are your mind is telling you that, no, you can't do that. And as an example, I've got a friend of mine, and he has been with the same company for about 25 years. And his limiting belief is, no, I can't leave the company. I must stay here until it's time for me to retire. Where he could be taking his skill set and maybe, making his own business or creating an additional income or whatever you can do. And so that's kind of a limiting belief. And there's one person that, yes.
No, I was just thinking that that's a great question probably for our guys, because I believe we all have that in our life when we were maybe employed or we work for ourselves and we start to be in that kind of
Right.
probably cycle, like we just can't leave. Guys, please share with us if you have any kind of like same experience around this belief, because we always said it's not right time, or no, I have to stay, I have to still wait for some great opportunity or different time because it's not right time. If you had anything like that, please just say yes and just put some comments. Sorry, Mike. I will.
Yeah, no, great interjection there. So just to let you know, what is causing those limited beliefs is what's known as your paradigm. And there's a couple different definitions of what a paradigm is, but the definition that I'm going to choose to use this evening is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior, and almost all of our behavior is habitual. And so it goes everywhere from, I've heard people talk about, well, what leg do you put in your pants first? Simple things like that. Um, you know, what do you do first thing in the morning, or, you know, that type of thing. And so your paradigm, but your paradigms can affect the way you think, and they can affect your decision-making process, and they can get that those limiting beliefs going. So we're gonna, a little background on the paradigm. There's a gentleman named Dr. Thurman Fleet, 1934, which is actually before I was born, believe it or not. And he wanted to create an image of the mind, because if I ask you to think of a red rose, what comes to your mind? A picture. We think in pictures. If I was to tell you the word, you know, tell you feather, you're not going to see the letters F-E-A-T-H-E-R. You're going to see an image of a feather. And so when I tell you mind, nobody has an image of the mind, because a mind is, it's an activity. It's really not a thing. So go ahead and grab your pen, grab your piece of paper, and I'm going to show you an image of that you can use to correlate your mind. Take a fairly good sized circle. You can think of it in the sports term as like about the size of a basketball or something like that, and draw that in the middle of your page. And then take a smaller circle and place it below it, maybe the size of a golf ball, and place it below it, and then take a line and connect the two circles together, a vertical line. And then of course you can draw the arms and the legs on this bottom circle, because that is the body. And the big circle is your mind. And you want to take a horizontal line and you want to put it straight across the center of the big circle, because you have two parts to your mind. You have your conscious mind, which is the top half in this illustration, and you have your subconscious mind, which is the bottom half in this illustration. And so this is a picture of what your mind looks like, at least in, you know, just a graphical depiction. And your conscious mind and your subconscious mind function totally differently. Your subconscious mind, it can't reject anything. It's kind of like soil in the garden. Whatever seed you plant in there is going to grow. So if you plant flower seeds, you're going to get flowers. If you plant tomato seeds, you're going to get tomatoes. And that's the way your subconscious mind works. It must accept anything that it comes through the conscious mind to it. It is totally void of any way to filter anything out. It can't determine the difference between truth and falsehood, reality, or that's why part of how you subdue or change your paradigm. Oh, by the way, the subconscious mind is where your paradigm exists. In your conscious mind, you can make choices. So if you get a thought and it's not going to serve you, you can just reject it, and you can keep it out of your subconscious mind. But that is going to take conscious effort. That's why they call it the conscious mind. They call it the reasoning mind. And you can also originate thoughts inside of your conscious mind. That's where visualization, meditation, and imagery happens. And the beautiful thing about making those images in your mind is you put emotion behind them, and your subconscious mind says, okay, let's go there. And so the more you visualize your ideal, whatever it is, if you're focused on, I really would like to have a red Ferrari. I was wondering, is there any other color for a Ferrari other than red? But anyway,
no, it's red.
whatever you focus on, that is what your subconscious mind will actually take and attract the how to get to that image or that goal. And your subconscious mind, like I said, is very, very powerful. And changing it takes a lot of repetition. It takes a lot of very conscious effort to keep away the bad thoughts. And you also have to fight it. It's almost like you're literally in a battle against your subconscious mind and your paradigm, because changing your paradigm, it's going to fight against you, because these are ingrained habits, your ingrained beliefs that you've had, sometimes even generationally. They're passed on to you from your parents, by the way. And so some of the things that they believe became ingrained in you before you were even born. I know we're going deep here, but I've actually been to weekend 3-day seminars on nothing but paradigms. So that's just a little bit of an overview. And what I'm going to do now, I've got a quote for you. It's by the name of a guy named Elliot Hulse, Hulse. And he says, "You must let go of who you are now to become who you want to be." So that to me speaks about shifting your paradigms, changing your paradigms. You must let go of who you are now to become who you want to be. So here's a little exercise I'm going to give you the framework to, and this is a way you can discover what your paradigms are. So you don't have time to do the exercise now, but here's the framework. This is also going to show you how you shift your paradigms as well. So write down one goal or challenge that you haven't realized yet in your life. Your subconscious mind thinks in detail, or it thrives in detail. So make the description of this as vivid as you possibly can. And when you get done writing that out, then draw a circle around it and put this in the center of the page. So write down the goal or the challenge that you haven't resolved in your life yet, and then describe it in as much detail as you can, because your subconscious mind loves that detail. And if you can put emotion behind it, that's another added factor that's going to let your subconscious mind will act on it even more when you have emotions, and try and make them as positive as you can, because this is something you're desiring. This is a goal. And then draw a circle around it. And the second thing, you have to let your mind just kind of go and write down every association that you connect with that goal, be it positive, negative, good, bad. Write them all down, and don't judge any of them. Just write them down around the outside of the paper and draw a circle around it and connect a line between the association and the goal. And so as many as you until your mind quits giving you feedback on the associations with that goal. And when you have a substantial amount of these associations, then start looking at them and evaluating them. And what you have in front of you there in word form is your paradigm as it relates to that goal.
Thank you. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really great homework. I wrote down everything.
I'm not done yet. But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
So you're looking at your paradigm, and what you want to do is you want to focus on just a couple or three of them that are the most powerful, the biggest negative impact, and then start asking yourself, take one of them, the one that has the most impact out of the two or three, and then start asking yourself, why do I think like that? Why do I go there when I think about this goal? Why does this thought come up? And you want to get really, really deep down into the root of why you have this limiting belief. And then what you want to do is you come up with the core of, down to the root and the core of that limiting belief. And then you write an affirmation that's the exact opposite of that limiting belief. And you could, wrap it around, I'm never, ever going to be successful. I just can't, I've never been successful. I'll never be successful. And then you could replace it with something along the lines of, every day and every way, I am becoming more and more successful. And you want to take that affirmation and you want to repeat it over and over and over again, as many times as you can throughout the day. And a key is you want to repeat that several times within the first 20 minutes of when you wake up in the morning, because it's a scientific fact that your subconscious mind is wide open to suggestion in the first 20 minutes after you rise. So that is the best time to do affirmations, and also it's the best time to actually focus on your goal and do visualizations or your goals. So that's a way to conquer your limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
And to shift your paradigm, you're going to be changing your paradigm by doing that.
Yeah, I agree with that. What you said, Mike, that that actually morning is really great time to do any kind of affirmation, because there was a lot in even Napoleon Hill in the in his book. He's telling
Mhm,
you like prepare basically something that you want to visualize, and he's doing this exercise basically every morning and every evening,
mhm,
and he's exactly describing that subconscious mind just need to know about that, and you can actually just put it in when you are continue doing that and repeating, and. I think also there was one research made how conscious and unconscious or subconscious mind is connected and wired. And I know there were people with seizures that they started to test them like how actually they can stop it. And they kind of like they cut the part between the two brains basically. And they haven't been wired. And it was so funny how they when they test them, they said like for example, take your left hand and touch your left ear or right ear, and after that when they did it, they asked them why you actually did it, and they couldn't remember. Oh, sorry, they couldn't remember that someone actually asked them to do that. That
oh
was the
wow.
reason. That means that like they basically cut that connection between conscious and subconscious mind. And I
Mhm,
think it's amazing how we can actually rewire that, and we can actually start to think differently and get rid of limiting beliefs. There's a lot of work. I know that is a lot of work with also my clients done around like they want to make $10,000 a month, for example.
mhm,
And I'm asking them always, but do you believe that you can do it? And they start to think like, no, probably not this year. So like, then
mhm.
you can't do it then this year.
It's a beautiful affirmation for that, by the way. I'm so happy and grateful now that I am earning $10,000 a
Yeah.
month or more through multiple sources
Exactly.
of
And,
income.
and that's really,
Yeah.
really huge thing, because we don't know about that. But when you actually start to question your goals, that was
Hmm.
amazing what you said. Like basically you write down your goals and what you want, and you start to question your paradigms or your limiting beliefs. And I think that's great. Awesome process, Mike. We have some comments. This is awesome from Vitor. Thank you guys. Yeah, I really like the
Mark likes yellow Ferraris instead.
yeah, I love that because yellow color. It's our color, Mark. I
Mm,
agree. It should be yellow, and yet it's funny how we see only the red Ferrari all the time. And I guess because I like red cars, so probably I'll be
yeah,
always saying the
that's
red.
my preference in color of cars as well. I
Yeah,
drive a red Accord.
I actually
Anyway.
think I saw once in Slovakia actually black Ferrari, and that was
Hmm,
amazing. And I was like, why everybody has red Ferrari and the black looks so cool.
yes.
Yeah. Loving it, Joanne. Thank you, guys. If you have any questions for Mike, just shoot us. Yeah, I'm happy to answer. Mike is happy to answer.
Yeah,
And yeah,
absolutely.
with limiting beliefs, because we were actually listening yesterday, it was something about money, and that's
Mm,
another thing when I mentioned that
hmm.
people usually want to have their goals, and they have financial goals, and I love support my clients with financial goals, because that's amazing. You just need to create a plan to make it, and it can be really real when you put it into small milestones and small steps. But people don't think in that small steps planning, and it's really hard to, I guess, imagine to go from 0 to 10 or 20,000 a month. And even though I think it's amazing, I think
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
easy and
Yeah,
you can do that big jump one day. You just
yeah.
need to have a system and plan. And how that was great, because I love that money blueprint. Like they said, that you need to really start to, I would say, uncover limiting beliefs. That's the topic that you were talking today about,
Mhm.
and also really question that why you think that, like why, if you think that money is hard to get or you can't really make that 10 or 20 or 30,000 a month, then probably you can't, and just really go deeper. Like my your exercise is amazing. Actually, I didn't do it that way. I think it will be fun.
Yeah.
I will do it today.
I actually just learned that this morning.
Great.
So it was, and it was like, oh, this is what we're going to talk about tonight. So this is, my goal was to help people take away something they could actually work on and be actionable.
Yeah.
I do have a resource for you guys, and I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Bob Proctor. He was in the movie The Secret. He is one of my mentors. And if you go to Proctor Gallagher, I think it's proctorgallagher.com, you can actually download a free copy of his book called You Were Born Rich. And it was written back in the 80s, but there are lessons in there, and it talks about how to you know, who it's basically wrapped around who you really are and your authentic
Yeah,
self. And
that's
the
right.
lessons are very, very simple, but they're also very profound. So
Yeah.
I'd encourage everybody, if you have not read that book, go ahead and grab it from proctorgallagher.com, and you'll enjoy it. I actually printed it out in PDF, and the print is only like the middle 60% of the page, so I've got notes written all around the borders and everything. So.
We can share probably in the group. That will be great if you can share that with maybe in
Mhm.
the comments. And
Sure.
yeah, Mark's question: how can you block limiting beliefs? I wouldn't call it block, because I guess block is really a negative word. Probably the language is not right. You don't block limiting beliefs. It's more about first thing. What you need to start with, it's awareness. You need to know about that. What is your limiting belief? That's why we have so many exercises for that in our program, because that's the first step, first, base that you need to start to be aware person, aware of how you think, what is limiting you, what is stopping you, and what are the beliefs that actually are not serving you, or they don't serve your goal or desire. Let me see if there is anything you will actually come up with probably through Mike's exercise. You will see there will be a few things that you will feel like, oh, this is not serving me. This is, if I will believe that, that is not going to take me to the goal. And basically what we do, you can probably answer as well, Mike, but what we do, it's the building up that awareness with a lot of questioning. That means you need to have really power questions. You need to ask yourself power question. I always say that it has to be really going deeper. And when you start to be aware and unlock why is that actually in your mind, or why is that happening? It can be, with as a tribe cycle. It can be from from parents, from family, from what you saw, what you learn, what you saw other people talking about. It's basically it's coming from environment usually, because we are not born with limiting beliefs. That is something that we create over the time. It's really great if you can find out where is that coming from, and start to rethink what Mike said, just to really write down the opposite and
Mhm.
start to think about that opposite. It's more about auto suggestion, maybe just more about really start to think opposite way. If that is the limiting belief you don't want to have, you
Mhm.
start to think about replacement. What is that?
Exactly, replacing. That's the word I
Yeah.
was going to come up with as well.
And it's exercise, Mike. Mark, you can't really do it, like just block it and do it now. It's something that is happening over the time, and I guess it takes weeks and months, to really change limiting beliefs. But it is
Oh yeah.
possible. I did it, and
Mhm.
I'm actually really happy. And I know how I was before and after, and I know exactly how that works when you are limited. That means it's amazing job what you can do on yourself or in your inner world. We
Yeah,
have,
just I can share a story real quick from the book Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, when he was commissioned, accepted the commission from Andrew Carnegie to do this 20-year study on achievement, human achievement. Andrew Carnegie said, "You need to write this down." And he essentially told him, and I can't quote it exactly, but he essentially told him, he said, "Napoleon, you are going to outdo everything that I've ever done." And at the time, Andrew Carnegie was the wealthiest man in the world. They estimate that he was actually the very first billionaire. And Napoleon Hill was a broke journalist. He was in his early 20s. He didn't have two pennies to rub together. And he, Andrew Carnegie crafted an affirmation, and he said, "Write this down, and I want you to repeat it every morning and every night for 30 days. And because Napoleon responded, "Well, I can't do that." And Andrew Carnegie said, "You're absolutely right. Yes, and until you believe that you can." And
yeah,
after doing that affirmation every morning and every night for 30 days, he actually told Andrew Carnegie, "I know I can do this." And Andrew Carnegie in his lifetime created 30 to 40 millionaires, and Napoleon Hill, through his writings and speaking, has created over millions and millions of millionaires. So he did far exceed Andrew Carnegie from producing millionaires. So yeah, very nice.
I love the book and I love the
Uh-huh.
story. And I honestly just finished that because I was basically, it's really bad, but I'm doing all these things in the book.
No, that's perfect.
But
You
I'm studying.
studying is actually more better
Yeah,
than reading. But if you enjoyed that, if you have not read Napoleon Hill's book, The Master Key of Riches, that one is also very good.
yeah.
It's
I
kind of
really love
like
the stories.
it's a very good complement to Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
actually in, I think, chapter 14 of that one right now.
Cool.
It's very
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that will be my next. I have the martini here. I'm going to finish that one. But yeah,
Uh,
guys, it's definitely great to go to that book, because it's I think the stories and all the suggestion and how he's explaining also, like you need to believe first. And I guess you can see that attributes in any successful person, that basically you believe. They don't have any doubt or self-doubt. If you have
mhm.
self-doubt, you need to start to work on that first. If you don't
Yes.
believe into your product, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you can transform people, if you don't
Mhm.
believe that you can actually get for someone any result that they desire, then you shouldn't do it. You should go back and work on your mindset and on your programs or your
Right.
product or your service. The thing is, you need to believe in that. You need to be 100% sure, because it's so many. Even when you think about coaches or any consultants, it's like the spam emails. It's just so many junk there, so many spam. And
Mhm.
to be great, you need to really be sure you are great, because you'll be another spam, because there's so many
Right.
programs and things that are happening around us, and everybody is trying to teach someone. But if you know the process, if you achieve the results, like Mike achieved his results, through his work, and
Mhm.
and we achieved the results for us with Dave as well. And that's the thing. If you have any result, you can actually teach people how to do it. And I had 4 businesses already, and actually four of them were actually that great. And I sold them, and I moved in another country, and they allowed me to open another one. That means
Right.
the thing is, I know the process. The thing is just really teach or do the work that you believe in, and believe in yourself. I think that's the most important.
Yeah, true.
And Dave
Dave,
has a question.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dave has a question. He says, do you have a suggestion on how many challenges someone should tackle using this process at any one time? And a really good rule of thumb is no more than 2. You don't want to try to tackle too many, because if you do that, then you'll suffer from overwhelm and then you'll just drop everything. So you want to focus on 1 or 2 at a time, but no more than 2.
Yeah, I
And
love that. Exactly, that I agree.
now I have something I'd love to read, and it's a little poem that was written by James T. Moore, and this is a little something positive for y'all to take away. And the title of this is One and Only You. Every single blade of grass and every flake of snow is just a wee bit different. There's no two alike, you know. From something small like grains of sand to each gigantic star, all were made with this in mind, to be just what they are. How foolish then to imitate, how useless to pretend, since each of us comes from a mind whose ideas never end. There'll only be just one of me to show what I can do, and you should likewise feel very proud there's only one of you. That's where it all starts with you, a wonderful, unlimited human being.
Namaste.
You're welcome.
No, thank you very much for that. I think if you don't have any questions, guys, we will finish, because we have 8:30, and I know it's Saturday. You want to enjoy your weekend. Finally, it's not raining here. It's amazing. We are having sun, and I can't wait to go out as well. And I will probably just, I'm not going to give you so many tasks this weekend. You have already one from Mike. I guess there will be fun exercise, and I hope you will enjoy that, because
Yeah,
I'm
please
going to
do.
definitely do it this evening, because I really like to go back into my beliefs. And that's definitely something you should repeat, and you should go back, and you should really understand yourself. And I always said, just work on yourself. It's really important for your life, for your relationships, for your business, for your health, for anything in your life. And yeah, if you would like to chat, let me know, PM me, or let me know if you want to book any call and know more about our programs and stuff what we are running in August. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And thank you very much, Mike. Thank you for today.
Oh,
Very nice
thank
to
you
have
for
you.
the opportunity. My pleasure. Absolutely. And happy Friday evening to you all, by the way.
Yes, and good night to you.
Yeah. Well, you all enjoy your Saturday. I'm looking forward to mine tomorrow. I've got something really fun, something I've never done before planned. So
Oh,
it's going to be
awesome. What it is?
good. They have a gravel road that climbs up into the top of Rocky Mountain National Park called Old Fall River Road. And I'm going to ride that on my bicycle tomorrow with a
Awesome.
very, very good friend of mine, which I believe she's actually on here. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Great. Okay, enjoy then. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, and see you next time.
Yeah, and thank you very much, all
You
y'all from
guys.
Australia and anybody else from around the
Yeah,
world.
it was lovely to have you all here. See you
Thank
tomorrow.
you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.